Your biggest customer maybe informs her or doesn't even inform you that they're leaving you.
We have to be right every time. The bad guys only have to be right one time.
One of my young engineers came running into my office saying, Colonel Fabian, you're not going to believe this. They have a rocket engine that can't blow up. And my initial reaction was, that's ridiculous. That's not possible.
Islet transplantation has the potential to be a one-time treatment to cure type 1 diabetes.
We're on the beginning of one of the largest waves that, the IT industry has ever seen.
There's no one in the United States doing what we're doing.
My husband was still in the Marine Corps at the time, and so I called my husband and I was like, Thomas, I need to borrow like 30 Marines.
It's time for us to take it to the large engines and go to space.
As a teenager, I was making homemade rockets and launching them in my neighborhood that resulted in holes in some of the neighbors' roofs.
We were out there really trying to promote energy efficiency and technologies, but we weren't doing it in a way that was relevant for the customer.
I had called up Mom and said, hey Mom, I'm eating a lot of pasta sauce, I'm eating a lot of pasta, and your pasta never gave me heartburn when I was growing up. What were you doing that was so different? And she didn't use preservatives. She would make everything fresh.
I experienced 3 really, really challenging pregnancies, and when I got pregnant with my 4th, I knew that I wanted to do something completely different than I had done from the past, and we did. And from that experience, I knew I wanted to create a company that would come alongside and help other women.
And one thing my dad told me, and I'll never forget this, probably drove me to this point, but is he said, everyone should be given a chance to fail. Okay, that's what I got.
When I was laid off, I basically took a step back, did some durable medical equipment sales, and in about a year, I got that dream job. I got the job I wanted. But the craziest part was, the first day I stepped foot in the operating room, Jolt was already a thing.
I had realized that for me to get to the top, it was going to be a long journey and a lot of promotions that would need to happen for me to get to the CEO role. And so I told myself, I'm just going to promote myself to CEO.
We're a gene therapy company focused on rare disease. Our lead program is for Friedreich's ataxia, as I mentioned. This disorder does not have any medicines, transitioning from preclinical studies to first in human subjects.
At our heart, a cybersecurity company, but really anything to do with specialty engineering. So that's software engineering, network, IT, anything to do with security.
Targeting that small satellite market. So we're looking at things in about the 1,000-pound weight class per satellite or less.
COI Energy is a digital energy management company, and we basically help businesses detect and eliminate energy waste in their buildings. And so basically what that means is we're helping them improve the efficiency of their buildings, and then we're monetizing that excess or that waste that they had. We're monetizing it for them, and they're able to now make money from that extra capacity that's available.
We are specialized in the intelligent automation space. Our core technology is robotic process automation, and what this technology does is it takes the mindless, boring, repetitive work from a person in business that truly they don't want to do anyways.
Castillo Engineering is a professional engineering firm. We're electrical engineers that specialize in the renewable space, specifically photovoltaic, solar, and battery storage.
We offer products for women during specific seasons of her life. So PMS, fertility, pregnancy, postpartum, nursing, menopause, and beyond.
So the part of the 3D printer that we make is called the hot end. It's the part that actually melts the plastic. And we make the fastest hot end in the world right now.
Decimal Engineering is a metal manufacturer. What does that mean? We make our customers' metal parts better. What does that mean? So we help them design it better, design it for manufacturability.
Green and Clean is committed to one-stop shopping. We clean, we do pools, and we do landscaping. all of them are related to some sort of maintenance or maintaining a clean environment.
Supply clean air to engines and enclosures on heavy machinery. We distribute on 6 continents, and we do business with 9 of the 10 largest global construction and mining equipment providers.
We are a software for the event management industry in terms of streaming, promotion, and registration. Within that same ecosystem, you can sell products, you can add sponsorship value, and then you can also do things like have sponsorship booths if you're attending a conference.
Pasta sauce, salad dressings, and condiments. We focus on the natural sector in those 3 major categories. We wanted something that would create joy, create laughter, but really also signify the importance of mother and the importance of bringing people around the table through really great food.
The thermoplastic basically is a Lego block. That's a thermoplastic. And so for our solid fuel engine, when we talk about a hybrid engine, the solid fuel is Lego blocks. It's thermoplastic. And then the oxidizer that we use, we get 2 choices. We can use nitrous oxide, laughing gas. So our rocket can be fueled by laughing gas and Lego blocks, or we could also use liquid oxygen.
The leading manufacturer of equipment for islet isolation and transplantation. And what that means is, inside your pancreas, there's some cells that produce insulin, and we make equipment to isolate those cells from the pancreas. It's automated equipment to facilitate that process. And then those cells get transplanted into a diabetic and reverse diabetes.
If you've got a business where your bottom line depends on how many objects you can 3D print in a 24-hour shift, and we give you a tool head that allows you to 3x your production for a relatively minimal cost, that's a massive difference for your business.
Because of our ties to the UF and the Powell Gene Therapy Center, I think it gives us a scientific advantage over most companies that are out there.
We have a flight termination system, so it will cut the throttle so that no oxidizer flows to the engine, which the engine in test after test after test shuts down in less than 1/10 of a second at that point. And valves will open to vent the oxidizer tank to the atmosphere. And so now you have a single rocket body falling into the water with no explosive risk and a very small threat footprint rather than the large spray of debris.
It's really the ISO certification. And the reason why that's the key, not only is it a difference from our competitors, nobody in this area is ISO certified. It's about when you make a mistake, you go in and you have documentation to prove where you went wrong and you can correct it.
When someone gets a package from Pink Stork, we want them to feel that love. And so it has a handwritten, personalized note that comes from us.
We've had an independent spectral analysis, and our exhaust is non-toxic.
Where currently we have over 100 patents and trademarks in countries around the world. The expectations of an OEM in terms of operational excellence and responsiveness has allowed us to achieve Tier 1 status with some of the largest OEMs in the world.
A low sodium item with no sugar added, making it part of the low carb keto paleo diet, and we actually have a 3-year shelf life by preserving our items with wine.
But it helps me sleep at night knowing that, you know, a company with 10 employees, we tell them you probably don't need all these things. You know, if you just do the badges, the cameras, the door locks, your backups, you know, have a good firewall, do some training for your employees, which we can provide for free, and find out there, that's really all you need.
So these are 3D printed objects. It's called a Benchy. It's a benchmark for how quickly and how cleanly or nicely you can 3D print an object. And normally something like this may take up to 24 hours, but we do it in about 1/3 of that time, in about 8 hours.
In the past, you had to break your sternum and expose your heart to replace a heart valve. Now with the instruments that we designed, they're branded under the Miami Instruments brand. You can replace a mitral valve or an aortic valve through a small incision in between your ribs.
Every single customer on our platform right now is making money. Every single one.
Where dirty airflow comes in and it creates a Sy-Klone, hence the name. And that Sy-Klone pushes the dirt in the air to be ejected back into the environment, feeding clean air to the engine or to the operator enclosure of heavy machinery. And that allows engines to run longer, and it allows clean air for the workers' health.
So we're inserting a new gene into the nucleus of the cell to replace this protein, the protein that they're missing.
We're redefining rocket science because we're doing something that really, I mean, hybrids have been around for a long time, but nobody has cracked the problem of a stable, smooth-burning, stable combustion hybrid engine until us.
For the past 10 years, we've averaged probably 10-15% a year growth.
We expect to be profitable within a couple of launches from beginning operations.
Probably growing 20% on a yearly basis.
Four of us 4 years ago.
4 years ago, 4 of us.
Now we have 17.
My team is narrowly focused on customer delight, so much so that we have 0 churn to date. And now we're at over 400 customers and looking to triple that in the next year.
The total area under market today is around $6 to $7 billion with, coming from software and services, and that's expected to grow 10x over the next 4 to 5 years. It's the #1 emerging tech spend area globally.
Started the company in 2015, and from then, I think our last 2 years, we've grown over 400%.
We're growing faster, about 4 times faster than the industry growth rate, which is a pretty exciting place to be. Of course, we're still small, but we expect to become, the major player in components, especially on the industrial side, globally.
Since me and my brothers took over from my dad, we've grown the business 4-fold. Okay, we kind of had to because now we got 3 brothers.
Somewhere around $17 million, in terms of in 2021, we really believe strongly that we'll be in the $25 to $30 million range in the next 5 years.
E-commerce has been an instrumental piece of our growth since the very beginning. In the early days when we were operating out of a storage unit, we had launched on Amazon, and we're currently Amazon's #1 bestseller in ketchup, #2 in ranch dressing, #2 in pizza sauce.
When we started 4 years ago, we did 300,000 in billings. This year, we're going to close out at 4.1 million. And next year, we plan on our goal is 8 million, our stretch goal is going to be 10 million.
If we put robotic technology against a broken process, all it's going to do is make the problem happen faster.
Most of the things that are facepalm moments are actually done by the brightest people.
We had the PO come in 2 weeks before it was due. They actually doubled our PO. So I was panicking. I was like, oh my goodness, we don't have any products ready. We're not going to be able to fulfill. This is our first time going into Target. It's nationwide. I have like a PO from Target and they just doubled it and I really need your help. Can I borrow your facility for the weekend? I'll figure everything out. My husband was still in the Marine Corps at the time, and so I called my husband and I was like, Thomas, I need to borrow 30 Marines. Can you get as many Marines as possible? And he was like, okay. I was like, yeah, tell them I'll put them up for the weekend. I'll feed them. I'll do whatever they need, but they just need to meet me at this manufacturing facility. We still have that product in Target today on shelves, and we're not doing it like that anymore.
See behind me, I don't see behind me, there's that's an apprenticeship back there. So we started that, put all those computers back there to train. We have a state-approved apprentice program that we're running for our machinists because we couldn't find them.
There are knockoffs of our products all over the internet. And in fact, we've got a staff member dedicated part-time to finding these types of things and helping to enforce our intellectual property.
About 5 years ago, I had a life-changing situation. I lost my hearing. So that's kind of I was like, okay, this is not going to stop me. This is going to actually make me work harder at it. So I told them, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back stronger, and I'm going to really make this work.
We are putting carbon out into the atmosphere when we launch, but we're pulling carbon out of the waste stream on the ground to do it. So we want to find ways to become closer to carbon neutral or even carbon negative in our overall company operations.
And very soon, within 2 to 4 years, we anticipate the FDA will approve islet transplantation as a cell therapy, approved for type 1 diabetes.
But it's not only about retrofitting your building with battery storage or solar panels. It's about doing what you can do today, reducing the energy waste in your buildings.
So imagine taking something that was 15 days worth of work and breaking that down to less than 4 hours for a person. How would that change your life?
People that have worked, we've had people work here 30, 25, 30, 40 years, you know, and they retire, and it's happy for me to see those people, you know, that they're able to retire.
My vision with Green and Clean over the next 5 years, in addition to being a one-stop shop for our customer, we want to be a one-stop shop for our employees. We want them to truly not only see that they have a job, but they have a career.
In industries where we know there are long-term lower lung health risks, things like silicosis, black lung, coal miner's disease, we know and we take comfort in the fact that our products send those workers home as healthy as they came to work and can allow them to work a long career in those environments and preserve their health.
Again, when I started this company, I just wanted to help one person. Like I said, if I help just one person feel better, then I'll done what I wanted to do.
To be recognized with the folks who are inventing things that are changing the world, that's a great honor.
Being in that pedigree of other companies that we've looked up to, and then now we're part of that group, it's just like get chills.
My team is super excited about being a part of this journey.
It's not what I did, it's because of what they did.
There's not very many opportunities in life where you can be a part of a growing organization.
And that people recognize that, and that we could inspire others as well.
We were in crunch time for a go live with a major social media provider, and unfortunately one of my employees' wife went into early labor. And I literally have a picture of him holding his baby in one arm, his infant, and his computer in the other, which I can tell you that would have never happened in my household, you know. But one of my employees did that, and so these type of awards and accolades, it's just proof of the hard work and just grind that our folks do on a daily basis.
Thank you, GrowFL. Thank you, Dr. Byrne, Dr. Corti, our employee base, as well as our investors.
An absolute honor to be included among those. There's some impressive companies.
We had a nice fire going, but it really puts gasoline on it, and it just celebrated our business through the roof. Like we grew over 80-something%, close to 90% this year, because a lot of that had to do with the support that we got from GrowFL.
I want to thank God for this opportunity.
My family who has supported me through this craziness.
I just want to thank my parents. You know, me and my brother, I want to thank my brothers.
Everybody from the UCF Incubator,
USF, Embark Collective.
All of the mentors that we had in the I-Corps program, including Tom O'Neill.
Tammy, she has been relentless.
Our suppliers have been instrumental, our packers as well.
We're just very thankful to be recognized on this statewide stage.
A lot of manufacturers in Florida, don't realize that when they buy equipment, they don't need to pay sales tax on that equipment.
Success is not linear.
And get a mentor.
That was my next one.
Yeah, get a mentor.
There are a ton of opportunities, whether it be through Grow Florida or Florida Makes or Enterprise Florida or the SBA. There's so many opportunities to get training, to get help, to get financial aid.
Failing is important to succeeding.
Focus on culture development as much as you're focusing on the business development.
You really need to think about what you can do today and tomorrow, because it will change.
You have to be able to get hit by a bus tomorrow and stand up and do it again, and the bus gets bigger and bigger every single year.
And then I worked for 4 startups prior to starting COI Energy. That's ridiculous. Identified 94 customers. They were all paid customers. Either she's really carrying something or she doesn't really have a job upstairs. Start with demand management and get rid of the energy waste.
I imagine that's going to create a lot of opportunity.
Bob Daigle, please call 317. Bob Daigle, please call 317.
Okay, I knew that was going to happen at least once.
Yeah.